Welcome in to another Thursday edition of Sports Talk. It's Ladies Night again. I'm Mackenzie Blaze alongside Morgan Jackson. Morgan, I hear you had quite the busy day down in Bainbridge.
Yeah, today may seem like a regular Thursday, but for Grace Christian's Walker Elrod, April 9th, 2026 is a day he will never forget. Elrod put pen to paper officially declaring him an Air Force Academy Falcon, but his accolades as a Cougar are pretty lengthy. Get this, he's a three-time cross-country state champion. His titles don't stop there. He's also the two-time defending DIAA 3,200 meter champion. Being accepted to one of the most competitive schools in the nation comes with more than an application. According to the United States Air Force Academy, you must meet academic, physical, character, and medical standards to be eligible for an appointment. A lengthy process, but if running has taught Walker anything in life, it's to stay the course. Take a listen.
I guess just signing day. You've talked about it before. This was the dream. This is what you wanted. This is what you worked towards. To put pen to paper to the Air Force, just feel a little bit more real now? Is it still sinking in, or?
Yeah, I think it's kind of sinking in now. There's no turning back now. I'm excited. This has been my dream for a long time. Ever since I was a little kid, I can always remember wanting to go to the Air Force Academy, and it's a little surreal to finally have it come together. But I'm also at a sense of relief because even when I was got the offer to commit, I was just thinking I'm not really surprised I put in the work for this, and it's just a culmination of all my events that it's finally happening. It was bound to happen at some point.
I like what you said. I even saw this in the story that Allison did on you and what you said up there, just talking about how maybe you weren't the best, but you worked to get here. How much would you like to emphasize that to someone who would like to be in your shoes someday to continue their sport at the collegiate level?
Yeah, I think that I'm not just here just to run fast. I'm also here to spread some sort of message, and I want my message to be it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you are, it doesn't matter if you're skinny, fat, you can do anything you put your mind to. All it takes is work. And people say I want to look for the right moment, but the right moment's always now, and you can do anything you want to do. Just put your mind to it and get it done. I like to think that I'm super unathletic, and obviously I'm not crazy unathletic, but I wasn't the best, and I worked really hard, and now I'm here, and I think that's the case for everyone. I think that there's no reason for anyone to not be successful. I don't see any version of myself that's not going to be successful because there's just not, and I think that's the case for everyone.
Just final thing for me, but large crowd here today, friends, family, to see everybody in the stands. How much did that mean to you to have everybody here?
It means a lot. Everyone's been here in my corner for a long time, and this has been a really long event that's finally taking place, but it definitely takes a village, and I'm happy to be here. I'm really glad my mom's here. My mom's really been the only reason that I've accomplished anything in my life, so without her, I'm pretty much nothing, but I'm glad that everyone's here to support me, and it means everything.
I feel like running, especially distance, is so much of a mental thing. When you're out there running, what's going through your mind?
Really nothing. I'm just thinking let's get to the finish line, and during track especially, I'm kind of thinking of my splits, but really I'm just thinking of what place I'm in, trying to move up some spots. It's a little more complicated than it sounds, but I'm just thinking, let's get finished. Running is one of the only sports that it doesn't matter how great of a football game you have or a basketball game you have. If you have a great game, nothing's really going to change. But running's a sport that your life can change in 4 minutes. If I go out there and break 4 minutes of the mile or something, my life's going to be completely different when I cross that finish line. And that's kind of in the back of my head as well the entire time. Anything's possible.
Have you thought, or has it crossed your mind, okay, I'm the first D1 athlete to come from here?
It's pretty cool, but it's just a start of something. There's going to be more D1 athletes. I'm just the first one, and I think that it's pretty cool to be the first, but I'm not the last.
What are you going to be majoring in? What are your next steps after school?
I plan to major in aerospace engineering, and I want to minor in a language. I'm not sure what language yet. And my next steps after school, I want to be a fighter pilot, and then after fighter pilot school, I'd like to maybe fly fighter pilots, obviously, but then I want to fly commercially, or I would like to design aircraft because I'm getting an aerospace degree. I like the idea of making something more perfect than it already is. It sounds really cool to me, and I just want to help something bigger than myself, and I think that's great for the Service Academy.
Mr. Breedlove talked about it. Not many people from down here, and not many people in general, are able to get into the Air Force Academy. What does it mean to you to represent Bainbridge, Georgia?
It means a lot. A lot of people say just because we're from Bainbridge, we don't have the equal opportunity. And yeah, that might be true to a certain extent, but just because you're not from somewhere, if I went to Atlanta or from Tallahassee, for instance, I might get a better schooling, but we're all dealt the same deck of cards. It just depends on how you play them, and I think I'm playing them the right way, and I think everyone has the opportunity to do that.
Wow, Morgan, first Division I signing at that school, and it's to a service academy. Grace Christian just has to be so proud of him.
Yeah, just hearing Walker talk, I'm extremely proud of him. I got to see him run a few years back, to see it all come together for him. And I know he's talking about he wants to minor in a language or something. I mean, he's got English now. When I tell you he inspired me, he's an inspiration to me. Just everything he said, he's so intelligent and he's so humble, and I know that's going to take him far.
And it takes so much to get into those service academies.
Yeah, and he got it all done.
Oh my God, he's
Very
got it
excited
going
to see
on.
what he can do.
I'm excited to follow him in the future, but Morgan, right now I have Georgia on my mind, as they say. I told Aaron that March Madness was the best time of the year, but I lied. I think the second week in April might actually be my favorite.
You know, I'm more of a football girl, but there is something special about Augusta National. And just minutes ago, the first round wrapped up.
Sam Burns and Rory McIlroy currently tied for first at 5 under. Burns birdied 8, 12, and 13. He grabbed one more on the last par 5 of the day to move him into the top spot. Just 2 missed greens on the day, and that course is fitting him just like a jacket.
I think in my head that a lot of golf courses do, but at the end of the day, it comes down to execution. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, people would say, oh, the Valspar, like, it's perfect golf course for you. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, if you execute, sure it is. If you don't, you know, you can shoot 75 pretty easily. So I think that's what it comes down to, really, to any golf course. But I think, if anything, these greens are similar to what I play on at home, a lot of slope and fast. So I would say, you know, that part of it I'm fairly used to.
And here's a look at the rest of the top 10, but Morgan, still lots of golf left.
Yeah, Friday's second round begins bright and early at 7:40 a.m. Defending champion Rory McIlroy and company tee off later in the day at 1:44.
And speaking of Rory's group, we can't talk about the Masters without mentioning South Georgia's very own Mason Howell. The 18-year-old out of the Brookwood School down in Thomasville is having one heck of a senior year. After winning the U.S. Amateur Championship last August, he made his Magnolia Lane debut this week. Here's some video of him practicing, getting a couple shots in at the range, but after today, he's tied for 69th at 5 over. Not the start I'm sure he wanted, but Augusta National is just such an unforgiving course. He should be proud of his performance, especially that he got to play alongside Cameron Young and Rory McIlroy. Not only is he 18, still a senior in high school, and he's playing golf on the biggest stage, but because of who he's playing with, Morgan, he's in a featured group, meaning his entire first 2 rounds will be shown on national television. Just imagine that pressure.
No, I mean, Blake, just the pressure right now of just being on local TV. I can't imagine playing in front of millions of people all over the world. And like you said, him being paired with Rory McIlroy, I mean, I honestly feel like that's a blessing, because I feel like when you do it at such a young age, you want to be with someone who's experienced. And honestly, I feel like he's 18 years old, just enjoy the ride, you know?
There's definitely an invisible string moment here, because Rory was golfing a few years ago and Mason came to that tournament to kind of, you know, check out what was going on. And Rory tossed him one of his golf balls, and Mason kept that golf ball all these years in his room, and now it's in his bag at the Masters as he plays alongside one of his icons. I mean, does it get more special than that?
I say this all the time. God is so detail oriented. He's in such the small details of life, and I feel like this is just a full circle moment, and I feel like that shows him. And I'm Mason, that's kind of my God wink that like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
I'm excited to just cheer him on. No matter what happens, we're all cheering for you, Mason. And coming up, we're talking high school baseball. Miller County has a chance to take a very tough region, but they got to win 3 out of 4 of their last games. So we'll check in on the Pirates after the break. Welcome back into Sports Talk. On Tuesday, Albany State Baseball hosted GSW, and it was the Canes that came out on top 4-3. It was Evan Wangman who came through for the Hurricanes. Top of the 7th, the senior smoked a 2-run homer to seal their fate and split the 2-game series. This much-needed dub closed out an 8-game road trip for GSW and snapped a 7-game losing streak. Losing 6 conference games prior to their win over the Rams has caused the Hurricanes to drop down to 6th place in the Peach Belt.
Hopefully we can take it and build on it going into a big conference weekend with Flagler this weekend. And we got 3 left to play, and it's still kind of a tight race from in the middle right now. So hopefully we can spark ourselves to get back. And the good thing, we play at home here. We're good at home. Obviously we want a road game here. We've struggled on the road quite a bit. So looking forward to getting back to home on Friday.
Moving over to the SIAC, the loss to the Canes marked ASU's just 2nd loss at home. They sit firm at second place in the conference and will hit the road to take on Benedict in a 3-game series this weekend.
And after dominating under the lights of Truist Park last Friday, CCA Baseball is taking this show on the road. The 11-1 Patriots travel down to sunny St. Pete, Florida for a 3-game tournament against some out-of-town talent. They played Lexington Catholic out of Kentucky this morning and won 5-0. And then a two-game day tomorrow against another Kentucky team, North Oldham, and then Loyola Academy out of Chicago. Morgan, it's easy to dominate in our little South Georgia bubble here, but how is this road trip really going to test these guys?
No, I think exposure is everything. You talk about them playing at Truist, then going on the road, another tough environment. It's preparing them to where they want to be at the end of the season, which is obviously at state again.
And draft prospect Blake Bryant, most likely on the mound for them tomorrow. And I'm no MLB scout, but I do think that a good outing for him against a team from uncharted territory would only boost his draft stock.
Yeah, I mean, we can only go up from here. Seeing all those guys this past weekend, seeing what he can do. We know what he can do. Like you said, he was touching 95. Let's see 96. I know that's cute.
Yeah, let's push it to 96.
let's see 96. But I mean, yeah, it can only go up from here. And I think he's already kind of cemented himself in that draft.
All right, well, from Douglas over to Colquitt, Miller County sitting pretty atop Region 1 of Class A Division 2. The region was essentially decided last week when Miller and Baconton faced off twice. Baconton took Game 1 at their place, but the Pirates got their revenge at home in Game 2.
With Miller's 8-4 win over the Blazers, they will take the region crown as long as they go 3-4, 3 out of 4 in their last few games. More than halfway there as the Pirates beat Batala Charter in a doubleheader, outscoring them 24-7. The only thing standing between them and the title is 2-12 Randolph Clay, a doubleheader scheduled for Tuesday at 4:30. And we want to give a big shout out to Tift County boys soccer coach Bobby Earls on capturing his 150th career win with the Blue Devils. The milestone was reached on Tuesday after Tift defeated Valdosta 3-0. Congratulations, coach.
My favorite part of each week is getting to tell the stories of our incredible student athletes right here in South Georgia. This week's Scholar Athlete is a 2-for-1 special. These twin brothers are doubling up the talent for Lee County soccer, bringing a whole lot of chemistry to the field. And after years of doing everything together, the seniors will be splitting up come fall.
Scholar Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Valdosta State University.
Who's more competitive?
I'd say he is. I'd say he's probably more competitive.
Who's better?
I gotta say myself, right?
He said you.
Okay, yeah, I gotta say myself then. Yes.
Meet Noah and John Clippinger, seniors at Lee County High School. A little sibling rivalry never hurts, but when you've played next to each other your whole life, it usually turns into something much more valuable. The Clippinger twins have been holding down the defense since they were little. All that chemistry and experience helped lead the Trojans to a region title, something the brothers agreed was their favorite memory made with each other.
I mean, it's pretty cool, you know. We got infinite chemistry with each other, so just kind of bounce the ball back between each other.
John and Noah are the products of a military family. Their father is a Marine, so the two of them have moved several times, including to North Carolina, Virginia, and now South Georgia. Both are extremely glad they got to remain at Lee County all 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true. I mean, to be completely honest, starting high school, I had no idea where we were going to end up. But just being here, it's great. It's awesome. I wouldn't change it for anything else.
Same team, same position. They share 50% of the same DNA, but the boys couldn't be more different. They have different interests outside of school and completely different friend groups.
Yes! I'd say he's a little more on the social side. He's more willing to reach out and make new friends. I'm more on the introverted side. I kind of stay to myself most of the time.
That difference in personality is why John and Noah will be splitting up come fall. John is heading to the University of Georgia to pursue a finance degree, while Noah has chosen to head out of state to Ole Miss, where he'll major in sport management. It'll be the first time in 18 years that the boys aren't under the same roof.
I don't really know if it's actually hit me yet, to be honest. Obviously, I've thought about it like, dang, you know, I'm going to leave him, but I don't think it's going to hit me until it really happens. And I'm like, oh, where's he at, you know?
After years of sharing the same field and the same back line, the reality of going separate ways is finally starting to sink in. But before they do, one last message for the teammate who's always been more than just that.
I would tell him that I love him and I'm going to miss him. I'm glad I get to play soccer with him.
Go be great. Go be great at Georgia. I know you can do it.
While the Clippinger twins prepare to take the field together for the last time, they share one last goal. The region was clinched, but they're dreaming of something bigger. taking home a 6A state title. And with that deadly chemistry and immense talent, Morgan, I think they have a chance to do that.
Yeah, I agree, Blaze. The school year might be winding down, but there are still a few weeks left. If you know an outstanding student athlete currently playing a spring sport, nominate them on WAOB.com. Winners will be announced every Tuesday at 6.
And coming up, we're recapping the Braves' 7-game stint out west and how Game 2 versus the Angels turned into a UFC match. Stick with us. How about them Braves? Atlanta, they're off to a hot start this season. 4 series in, and the Bravos have won 3 and split a pair with the D-backs.
Before the season started, there was a lot of talk about the Braves pitching and how it could struggle big time with key throwers like Strider, Schwellenbach, and Waldrop battling injuries. But so far, pitching is not the issue. 4 guys in the rotation with ERAs under 4. Bryce Elder continues to deliver. 0 earned runs through 13 innings pitched. Sale and Holmes leading the team in strikeouts. Looks like the staff is in a good place. Now, if we could just get Strider back, Bravos would be in a stellar place.
Well, if we're going to relive the moment from the West Coast stint, we got to talk about this brawl. Tuesday night, Game 2, Braves at Angels. Braves leading by 2, bottom of the 5th. Former Brave and current Angels outfielder Jorge Soler upset at the pitch from Lopez. He charges the mound, and a couple punches were thrown, and then things just get out of control. But hey, Walt Weiss, he's going to tackle Soler. Just pure chaos, Morgan.
Yeah, and up in the league, the Falcons' off-season workouts begin as they gear up for the 2026 season with a whole lot of new. It is a voluntary program if players choose to participate in the workouts. Head coach Kevin Stefanski gave a brief update on the James Pierce Jr. situation and was asked if it is JPJ's decision to come back or not.
As James Pierce is not here, we've been in constant communication with his representation, but I won't have much more to add than that.
So is it James Pierce Jr. decision?
I don't want to get into the specifics of that, but it's every player's decision that I respect.
Is it indefinite at this point? Do you have any expectation of when he will arrive? Or
Yeah, I'm focused on today.
More offseason news. Right tackle Caleb McGarry announcing his retirement from the NFL after missing all last season with a leg injury. Now, a major hole to fill on Atlanta's offensive line, but the Dirty Birds wasted no time signing former Jags and Chief tackle Jawan Taylor to a 1-year, $5 million deal. Don't go anywhere. A series you don't want to miss. Georgia Tech hosting the Florida State Seminoles, and we're breaking down the matchup after the break.
Thomas University announced their new women's soccer coach, Sergio Rupano. Rupano brings more than 25 years of experience across college, pro, and international levels, most recently at Florida Southern. He's coached with national teams, developed pro talent, and built strong recruiting pipelines. Last season, the Lady Hawks went 8-1 and won, going 5-5 in the conference.
And the top matchup tonight in the A. Nothing like a top 5 series. Georgia Tech playing host to the Seminoles. Now, neither team has lost a series. The Yellow Jackets are riding a 9-game win streak, while Florida State is coming off a top 10 series win against UVA. But they did lose to rival Florida at home on Tuesday. Former Seminole James Ramsey now leading Georgia Tech in his first year as head coach. So this matchup is sure to deliver. I mean, you got Florida State's elite starting rotation paired with Georgia Tech's powerful bats. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday all sold out at the Flats, the first time Georgia Tech has ever sold out a series.
The numbers speak for themselves. FSU pitching slightly better than Tech's, but nearly every hitting category the Yellow Jackets outperformed the Noles. Georgia Tech's batting average ranked 3rd in the country, and their on-base percentage is number 1. Take a look at the difference in home runs. Tech with 29 more mashes on the season.
First pitch was at 7 p.m. Noles currently leading 3-0 in the 3rd inning. And Morgan, who are you going to take in this series?
I'm going with Georgia Tech, actually. I don't know.
Obviously, my heart wants to pick Georgia State, but they don't have Miles Bailey anymore, and he was their big guy. He's part of the reason they had those home runs. I think he had like 17. So my heart doesn't want to do it, but I'm gonna pull for the Yellow Jackets.
You're going against the Noles?
I am. Is that crazy?
Whoa.
Yeah. But Ladies' night continues tomorrow. We got a busy day. I'm going to be right here in Lee County. What are you doing?
I got to get out to some Tift County baseball. I try to get out there every year, and I missed out on it last year, and Coach said something to me about it, so I got to get out there this year.
Okay, well, I'll be back here at 11 with you guys, and then we have Locker Room Report tomorrow at 11. So make sure you come hang out with us. Have a good night, South Georgia.